Hello and welcome to this live streaming. We're gonna start off where we left off the first time. The last time we just set up our sculpting scene and our brushes, and I am now going to teach you one of the best of or the most valuable technique you will learn for hard surface sculpting. I am going to go into object mode here. I'm gonna pull this down. Gonna use my I'm working with my pen, so I'm gonna use my mouse for this moment. Just click here or right click new collection. I'm gonna put some test shapes in collection for test shapes. That's it. Gonna hide the car shapes. I'm gonna just shift A and put in a cube. The cube is not centered, that's why you have this weird spatial turning effect. I'm just going to the shift S, going to cursor to world origin, and then I'm going to do shift S selection to cursor. So now it's at the cursor, it's at the center. And I'm going to show you one more thing. Go into preferences via the edit menu, go into navigation and just click here orbit around selection. This will give you an orbit around your selection that you're currently selected, so you will keep on turning around this selection. Okay, now that we have that, let's go into sculpt mode, and we have set up our brushes the last time. So let's go ahead, and I am going to take the flatten brush, going to overlay. I'm just going to enable this so you can see my brush, and I am going to show you one of the best techniques to start hard surface sculpting. And before we're going to do that, I am just going to I have this cube selected, so I'm going to do Control 3, and that will add just a subsurface um, on this cube. I'm going to apply that. Okay, cannot be applied in sculpt mode, so I have to go into object mode, and I am going to delete that, Control 3, and I'm going to apply that. So now that we have that, let's go into sculpt mode again, and I am going to take my flatten brush and enable Dino Topo. Just click here, don't mind that. I'm gonna take away the curve, and what you see now is I am going to show you a technique that I use all the time when I do hard surface sculpting, and that is the flatten smooth technique. So we're going to use the flatten brush, this brush, the flatten brush, and the smooth brush in between. We're going to explain you why. So this is the resolution is set to 10. Keep the verts, keep an eye on the verts that you see. It's 386, and let's go ahead and start. Let's zoom in a little bit. I press Ctrl and the mouse button, and as you can see, when I rotate around this cube that we've selected. So let's go ahead and do Shift F. I'm not going to use a strong brush. I am going to use like so 2.8, and I'm going to start off with this. I'm just going to go in and give me some material to work with, and I am going to smooth this out. I am just going to flatten this a little bit. This is just going to add some geometry so that we can have something to work with. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and use the smooth brush, and now we're going to smooth out all these verts that we have here. Now you can go ahead and put Shift F. Don't go in Shift F with a very hard brush. If you do that, you will get like a really weird topology changes that we don't want that. So let's Control Z, and just go Shift F. Use a small strength brush. Shift Control Z, Shift F, I just go ahead and 0.77. This is just to smooth out the strokes that we placed with the flatten brush. Okay? Okay. So now that we have that, let's go in and change the resolution of the Dinotopo to 20. Go ahead and go into the flatten brush. Now you can see we have 1146 verts. Let's go ahead and let's add some more. Okay, so now we're adding more verts. Okay, let's go ahead and now you can see we have already 3000 verts. That's 3 times the verts that we had before we applied these strokes. Go ahead and with the smooth brush just smooth it out, and it will give you a very nice surface to work with. Okay, now as you can see with the smooth brush, we don't add any vertices at all. We just use smooth brush to smooth out the area that we just sculpted. Okay, let's go ahead and up it a bit. I'm going go into 40. Go ahead to the smooth to the flatten brush, and again we're going to add geometry, and you will see now that we get a really nice result. We already have 9000 vertices. That's again 3 times as much as we had before. And let's go ahead and with the flatten brush get some verts and get some cool surface going on, um, because you cannot have hard surface sculpting without verts. So, and I know that Dinotopo just adds verts where you want to, but with Dinotopo it's really important that you have verts all over the place, because without verts you cannot have really nice crisp surfaces. And again with with the flatten brush, come in and flatten this out. Okay. Now as you can see, we have here these square shading going on, and these are all little squares going on. If you want to see how it's like, go ahead and shading and going for some really harsh reddish shade for matte cap. You can see them better. Okay, and if you now go into smooth shading, you will see that we have a really nice surface that we sculpted. Okay, I'm going to go back and put this on because that's easier on the eyes. And we can go ahead and go into 60, and again going with the flatten brush, and we're going to add some more verts in. Okay, so now you can see that for this vertex, for this surface that we're working on, okay, for this surface that we're working on, we already have 19,000 verts just on this surface alone. And the basic rule is without verts you cannot have a hard surface sculpt going on. So you need those vertices. And when I do cars, I mostly end up with 500,000 to 1 million verts. And that's really being gentle because this is an old laptop. I don't have any very powerful graphics card or lots of RAM or a high CPU. I just have this is a really old laptop, like 6 years old, so, but it works fine for my workflow and it gets things done, so I don't need I don't need an upgrade for now. But this is the way I go ahead and just smooth flat. As you can see, we just went in and we just again with the flatten brush, with the smooth brush, we smooth it out. And I don't think I did it the 60,000, but let's go ahead and go into 70,000. Again, I'm going to say that it's possible that my Blender is crashing. This is the beta version. Everybody's using the beta version now, and this is also the beta version of the 2.8. So it has crashed on me again. It has crashed on me already. So now we have 25,000 vertices just for this surface here, and I'm going smooth it out. And I've told you in the earlier version of the earlier live stream that you have a brushes that add verts and brushes that don't add verts. Well, one that adds verts is the flatten brush, and one that doesn't add any verts, it's the smooth brush. So smooth brush doesn't add vertices, it just smooths out the surface that you're working with. Okay, so this is one of the techniques that I use in hard surface sculpting, and it's just go in with the flatten brush and with the smooth brush, and just crank up every time the resolution, set it to constant detail, subdivide edges, and you will get these really nice surfaces going on. Okay, and I'm gonna recap in the preferences, turn on orbit around selection. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, give me the thumbs up so you can show it to other people that are interested in learning Blender. And thanks a lot for watching, and I see you next time. Bye.